Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. And a very, very happy Mother's Day as well. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 2.41% to 35,109. Ethereum down 2.7% to 2614. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Thank you for being a part of our globally extended family. I very much appreciate you being here. And again, happy Mother's Day. Each time we start the market run through, I go through these variety of different sectors. I'm trying to give you some sort of overall understanding of how the market is moving every single day, 7 days a week, and it can form a really good thing to look back at. Over time, you'll see certain patterns playing out again and again and again. That's why I spend a little bit of time going through this. Ultimately, it's very, very beneficial to you. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, and please know that you can reach out to me anytime and directly message me on Twitter. Crypto technical analysts scientifically track investor attention. Investor attention is measured by price, which is reality, not future promises. The first thing we do as crypto technical analysts is understand how to mark up the charts to capture exponential price action. We look at outside trends, checking world events, collecting probabilities. We look back into the crypto market to find the market's focus, understanding that if we enhance our pattern recognition, we can identify opportunities that occur inside the market every day. Before we buy or sell and apply those specific methodologies, we need to master emotional control, and that's incredibly important. If you don't have emotional control, you'll get phased out and buy when you should sell and sell when you should buy. How are the markets going today? We can see that the price action is down in the D zone, and a lot of people thought it would stay in D, and indeed it did. Wow, so many D's in that. Currently, Bitcoin's price is 34,822. These particular bands indicate the weekends, and this is a weekend crossover. We're moving from Saturday into Sunday. When looking at the longs measured in green and looking at the shorts measured in red, we can see the shorts are getting more and more confident and they're coming into the market. And we can see why, because liquidations are occurring. Let's check those liquidations out. We can see there's been some really high volume. This is not normal weekend volume. This is really, really elevated. And probably what's happening is a lot of retail investors and traders are getting really psyched out about the overall market conditions and anticipating a crash, probably going to cash and sitting on the sidelines. But we can also see many longs entering the market as well. Over the past 24 hours, there's been 192.33 million in liquidation across 70,088 positions. When we look at the past 24 hours, around 80% of liquidations have been long liquidations. Across the past 12 hours, about 84%. The past 4 hours, still about 84%. And the past 1 hour getting up to nearly 97%. The longs are getting hit right now. As we look down to the relativities, we can see the longs getting hit at the moment relative to the shorts, but longs and shorts are always getting liquidated. It doesn't matter when. Longs and shorts always can get stopped out and liquidated in their positions. Just be really, really aware of this. And this is the normal kind of weekend action that we see. We're seeing a lot more volume come into the market. Looking at the crypto fear and greed index, we can see a lot of fear in the crypto market as well. And we can see Bitcoin's price coming into that support area. As I've been mentioning for a little while now, we've got a whole whack of support between 37,164 and 32,332. We've got absolutely more support underneath that. But look at this price action. What I wanted to draw your attention to, we had a sell-off and a bit of a consolidation here, and then a sell-off on Monday. What are we seeing here? It's kind of a similar pattern. What we're seeing is a sell-off, and then during the weekend, this is a definite fear capitulation from retail at the moment. We could see more negative downside pressure on Monday when the markets open. So that's the main markets. Crypto is always open, but when the stock market opens, we could see more downside pressure. I believe it will be pretty shortly lived because these spikes are generally unsustainable. They're followed by rallies, and a lot of times people see the price coming down like this or down like this, and they say, oh, I'm all out, only to see the price go up and then say, I got it wrong, I need to get back in, and then the price goes down again and they say, oh, I need to get out. It's literally the death of 1,000 cuts, and it happens to people when they enter any financial market for the starting point. But when you get around zone 1 and zone 2 and you move out of certainty, having to know the exact top and the exact bottom, and then you move into probability, you'll find that you actually inverse your decisions. You will buy on days like this and you will sell on days like that. That's why I always say, please make in advance probabilistic choices. Even if you're fully invested, what will you do with your portfolio? Will you just hodl onto it, or will you sell some of it or part of it or all of it if price goes in the direction that you want, or if it goes against you, or if it goes flat? You need to answer and have answers to these three questions at all time. And it doesn't matter if you don't have funds to put into the crypto market. You must do this in any financial market. We know that there's a really strong correlation between Bitcoin's price, that gold line, and futures open interest, this green shaded area. And this is on an uptrend. It's over a key level of resistance and it's going forward. Definitely it's had a retracement, but there's a lot of confidence in the crypto market right now. And when people don't do the detective work, they just won't see this. They'll just basically freak out. And I don't blame them, because there's so many negative news stories out there in the press. But we're doing the news analysis now, and recent events have pointed towards big institutions coming in and buying. For example, one of those institutions were the Purpose Bitcoin ETF, and it increased from about 30,000 Bitcoin up to around 34,500 Bitcoin. That's quite an investment. What institutions do is they apply Rule 829, percentages, not price. They want the percentage to be on their side. They don't care about price at all. Price is nothing to them. The percentage is all that counts. Turning to an overview of the market, we can see Algo up in front over the past 7 days, up about 29.12%, followed by Tron up over 27%, followed by HNT, CRV, ZIL, ANC, Uni, and XTZ. And when we bring this up a little bit more, you can see something really interesting. What was this yellow line here? That is Ape. You can see over the past 7 days, Ape has been coming down and down and down. What is this blue line? But if we think about Ape and GMT, last 14 days, they were doing incredibly well. This is what you have to watch out for crypto. What is strong becomes weak, and what was weak can become strong. That's why we have Rule 130. Make volatility your best friend. Say to your best friend, sorry best friend, volatility is now my best friend. Looking at the top 20, we can see Tron, TRX right out in front, followed by Doge, BNB, Litecoin, and then Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin in the yellow here. Bitcoin's gravity will exert itself over all top crypto projects, both upwards and downwards. If you're in a loss at the moment, as a lot of people are, Rule 219 is really important. Please be kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself is really important. Having forgiveness. Don't worry about not buying at the bottom or being in a loss. All professionals start their trades in a loss because they buy on red. That puts you on the right side of the percentage. In fact, massive sell-offs in the market are absolutely what professionals look for. There's no better time to get into the market when everybody else is leaving it. To become professional, professionals have basically had their emotions burnt out of them by the market. And that may sound really rough, but it's very, very true. When you've been in the markets for decades, as many have in our community, what you'll find is the markets are always moving counter to retail thinking. Retail thinking is all about emotional-based decision making. That is really, really dangerous. That will put you on the wrong side of the percentage and have you selling when you should buy and buying when you should sell. Smart money is completely different, but it's a minority of the market. These professionals inhabit Zone 3 and Zone 4. Through positive excellence, they look and forgive themselves if they don't get it right. They don't worry about picking the bottom or picking the top. They're participating in the trade. They understand a lot of rules and they understand how percentages work and how volatility works. And they also get on the right side of the percentage by buying on red and selling on green, knowing that all prices move in a wave. Turning to the top crypto projects. The top cryptos, we can see Bitcoin has sold down. We may get a bit more negative volatility in here, but you know the markets do not reward certainty, so we'll have to wait and see. But what we can see is Bitcoin's gravity playing out on Ethereum. Ethereum is following suit. And we can see exactly the same thing in Binance Coin. XRP is following Bitcoin's gravity down. And when we look at ADA, Cardano, that's also following Bitcoin's gravity down. If you've had a chance or an opportunity to look at the news section that I put out today, there's some interesting news on ADA. Solana is making its way down. Remember how I was talking about Luna when it was up around the 120 mark, and I was saying if you want to get into Luna, please be aware that it could retrace down to the $60 level and maybe even further below that. We now have Luna at 62.85. We know Luna is a very strong project, but the masterclass students would also recognize what pattern was occurring there. Let's have a look at AVAX. AVAX is selling down, but these unsustainable sell downs are actually your best friend. You don't want to be selling these, you want to be buying them. But of course, it's up to you. Only you can know your financial position. And we use Rule 148, be 100% responsible. It's really important when you put your money down in the market to know what you're doing. This rule is a Zone 3 and Zone 4 rule. It's definitely not a Zone 1 and Zone 2 rule where people lose money. I'd just like to show you something on Luna. Luna was going up and up and up. And when it reached a certain point, we were starting to say, be careful. And what actually happened? Luna's come down about 47.15%. If you manage to time the top badly, and sometimes that does happen, you could be sitting on a $4,715 loss if you put $10,000 in at that point. That's why it's really important to understand how crypto works. One thing that I can tell you, I'm actively involved in Luna trades, and I really love Luna. It's a fantastic project, but I have buy orders way down because I want to get some kind of long tail spike. I'm waiting for it, and that could be it actually, but we just have to wait and see. Looking at some community favorites, there was some news in the news segment that I put out just today on Theta, and we can see Theta selling down. So have the fundamentals of Theta actually improved? I believe they have, but what has happened? The price action. Bitcoin's gravity is overriding fundamentals, and this is always on the cards. And this is why it's really, really important to understand how to do the crypto technical analysis. If you don't, you will definitely lose money. And let's have a look at T-Fuel. That is selling down. Doge recently had some fantastic news in terms of payments. And it's always about network growth and network adoption. But we can see Doge is also selling down. And this is what you always must keep in mind. Technicals will override fundamentals. That's Rule 74. Technicals beat fundamentals. And this is a really good illustration of that happening. EGLD is selling down, as is Phantom. CHR is selling down as well. LRC is selling down, but it's looking quite strong. And Atom is selling down. This is an unmaintainable sell-off. This is really, really interesting to professionals. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this particular price action in Atom. Would this be something that you would be interested in actually getting into? And of course, always make your own decisions. I'm not suggesting that you should buy Atom. I'm suggesting that your pattern analysis, what do you think about this particular pattern? It's all about patterns. Let's have a look at some other community favorites. We can see NEAR selling off. But this is just in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Nothing to see here really. This is Bitcoin's gravity impacting NEAR. And we can see the same thing with Matic, same thing with Icon, same thing with VRA, same thing with Rose, same thing with Rune. But Rune is really quite strong. Look at that particular technical pattern. That looks quite good. IOTA, same thing with IOTA. And then when we look at IOST, something a little bit different in here. And if you have had an opportunity to watch the news segment, you'll understand why. Let's have a play in the metaverse. And we can see SAN breaking down, but it's just following Bitcoin's gravity and showing a degree of strength at the same time. Axie did a bit of a spike in either direction, but it's just moving down with Bitcoin's gravity. Mana doing the same thing. Gala doing the same thing, just selling down. Engine selling down. Doing the same thing is Ape. Ape has actually come down 57.29% now. And this is the thing to be aware of. When things get too overextended, they must retrace. And this is coming up to a technical level of support, which looks quite intriguing. One question that I'm asked is, Ken, how do you buy? And this question is covered extensively inside the masterclass, but you need to pick levels of support going down as low as you can go. Many times people say, well, look at this. This is going up and up and up. It's never going to come down. It's just going to keep on going up. And then we see price action like this. This is really normal in crypto. If you can handle these 60% drops, you're a crypto warrior. That's what we do. That is what it means to be a professional. When we look at stock market, the stock market dropping by 10% puts people in a sleepless state. When we look at crypto, things dropping by 60%, well, that's kind of normal. If that's kind of normal, you say, Ken, I don't want to be part of the crypto market. It's crazy. But let me show you how percentages work. Okay, let's zoom into Ape. It's come down 57.29%. And you say, Ken, I'm out. This is too much for me. It's too volatile. That's why we have to make volatility our best friend. Now let's have a look at getting on the right side of the percentage, because this is definitely part of getting on the right side. When price restores to that previous high, and there's no reason why it can't, what percentage would that be? And a lot of people would say, Ken, come on, it's 57.29%. It came down 57, it's going to go up 57. Well, let's check it out. Let's do this here, just to that top. Hang on a second. What's happened here? It's 134.32%. Naughty Ape. It's not 57. And this is why you need to get an understanding of how percentages work. These are bargain basement. But we don't go all in and more. We buy at levels of support. You can do a participation trade to put your toe in the water, so to speak, but we're always putting levels down and down and down as far as we can go, because we want to capture these long tail rejections in the other side. I'll just extend this out to 10 days and we'll see what actually happens in the next 10 days to 8. When we look at Chili's, it's just following Bitcoin's gravity down, and SLP is doing the same thing. Looking at some more community favorites, we can see Coty just moving down in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. In other words, it's moving as the market moves. CRV doing exactly the same thing, but CRV is forming a bit of a bottom here. This is a base. This is really quite interesting, and that's why you always want to enhance your pattern recognition. Waves has sold off dramatically and done a little bit of a bounce, but still moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Arweave is moving down. We can see Zilliqa has got a bit of strength here. It's just wavering around. It's hit a support area, but it's still deciding what it's going to do because of Bitcoin's gravity. What happened to your beloved alt? Bitcoin happened. Let's look at Cello. Cello, Bitcoin happened to Cello. What about Cartesi? CTSI. Cartesi is moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity as well. And what about ANC? That's also moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. But what have we noticed here? Kind of a sell-off. If you've managed to watch the news segment that I put out today, you'll know why. I'd like to draw your attention to two things on this particular page. Notice this big move up in waves, and notice this big move up in Zill. I want you to have a bit of a look at Zilliqa. You can see Zill following Bitcoin's gravity, a bit suppressed here and going down. A lot of people would have given up all hope with Zill. Now what happened? What we can actually see is Zill actually moved down over this period of 263 days. It moved down 85.37%. This would shake the vast majority of people out. And then what happened? We came down a little bit further, so we can actually drop that. So we came down 86.97%. By this stage, everybody would be basically running for the hills. Zill is dead. Zill has come down. I'm never going to get my money out. I'll just capitulate. And people would get really angry. Now, what happened next? Zill decided to shoot up 589%, almost to this previous high level here, just below it, just here. Notice that this happened in 35 days. This happened in about 300. The downtrend happened in about 300 days. The uptrend, 1/10 of that, about 10% of that. This is how crypto works. It's really important that people understand crypto is not like the stock market. It's completely different. And you can imagine if you were continuously lowering your average buy price, you would be actually taking advantage of this upsurge. And that's why we BORSOG, buy on red, sell on green. Some people say you shouldn't BORSOG. BORSOG is bad. But if you ask the same people, should you dollar cost average? They say, of course you should dollar cost average. Well, isn't BORSOG and dollar cost averaging very similar? Oh yeah, it is. But what actually happens with DCA? The last time people would buy is on a capitulation spike like this. That's the first time that we would buy. We love red. And like this, we'd be absolutely adding to our position, which lowers the average buy price down and down and down and down. And sometimes if you work it well, you can lower it just by huge amounts, but it takes skill and patience and also practice. But when you see spikes like this is really important to understand. This is how the crypto market works. Now, do those spikes last? Often not. Sharp angles reflect. We say it goes up the elevator and comes down the stairs. but we're aware of how crypto actually functions. We know its reality. BORSOG is about buying on red and selling on green, and it does take skill and it takes knowledge. You have to know what you're doing. You can't simply take the concept, buy on red and sell on green, and make it work all the time if you don't know what you're doing. You need knowledge, just like everything. And you can see there's so many hidden rules in the crypto market. What you're actually seeing here is a very, very important concept. Crypto can come down for literally a year, and then in the span of a month it can recover. This is pretty important to understand. A lot of people sit on losses and they say, I'm done, I'm dusted, I'm out of here, I'm just going to walk away from the market. That's exactly what a lot of people would have done in Zill, only to see it go up 600%. And they would have seen it go up 600% and say, oh no, I'm wrong, look, I was right all along. And then they will buy when they feel certain it's going to keep on going. And it does things like this. This is crypto. You must know what you're doing. You can see exponential price action all over the place. Cryptos are always doing this. If you're deeply in the red, but you understand how percentages work, you have a way out of losing positions. One thing also, let's just go back to Zill for a minute. When people talk about dollar cost averaging, they say the best way to dollar cost average, on the first of every month, put X dollars into a particular crypto. I couldn't think of worse advice to give anyone. What you do is you buy on red. That's critical. And I would also suggest that you have, if you feel that you're a long-term investor, just have a little bit of your portfolio to trade with. It doesn't need to be much, and don't worry about the taxes. The taxes are basically your signal that you're doing something right. If you're paying taxes, you're doing really, really well. You don't want to be worried about getting a concession on capital gains. You want to be worried about being profitable and buying and selling correctly. When you think about buying on red, we lean into these long tail capitulations. We absolutely adore them. And that's what we were doing back here in July when everybody said the market was going to go to zero. And it didn't go to zero, not at all. It rallied and rallied quite well. And you can see how gravity is playing out on these particular alts. That's something that you need to be aware of as well. There's a lot of knowledge involved in doing well in the crypto market. A lot of people think that they can walk into the crypto market and just say, I work so hard for my money. I'm going to put it on red or black or number 33 in terms of like a casino roulette analogy. And the number doesn't come up because you need knowledge. Crypto is not gambling. Crypto is Web 3.0, the next evolution of the internet. If you pick the right protocols, if you pick the right cryptos, you're going to do incredibly well. And you don't have to be just an investor or just a trader. I would always recommend combining diamond hands with a diamond mind. And that way you experience the best that life has to offer you. The beautiful thing with life is that it resets daily. You can change your mind on how you do things because every single day is a new day. And life wants you to succeed. You're here to show your uniqueness, and crypto may be a way of funding that uniqueness. Life is always waiting for you to be ready for abundance, and the world is abundancy based. It's not scarcity based. Scarcity is only in our mind. I'd also like to let people know that I did a new video, and when I do a new video, I don't just simply rehash or rebadge things. I always put in new content and typically new rules as well. In the post I just put out, I talk about rule 919, you're good enough now. Society would have us believe we're good enough when you're not. You're good enough right now. And I actually cover some things in here which are really, really important to understand. It's all about understanding that scarcity is something that we hold because we've been taught in the wrong way, not by our parents, but by the education system itself, by the environment, by the economy. The economy wants us to think that scarcity is all over the place. But it's not. Abundance is everywhere. That is a really, really powerful particular rule, 919, and I discuss it in depth in the Coffee Club video 10 that I've just put out. Every month I bring out a new Coffee Club video, and it's just my way of saying thank you for the kind generosity of the people that reach out and buy me a coffee. There are currently 10 videos on the buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS website. I'd just like to thank Kirk from San Diego. Thank you very much, my friend. And Vicente also. Thank you for your effort and getting a magnificent community. Although the prices are falling, I am sure that this is a tremendous buying opportunity that will not be repeated in the future. So true, my friend. Thanks to you, I can see it within my possibilities. I continue to enter the market, and this is very, very accurate too. Thank you, Vicente, for your very nice comment. We are very fortunate because crypto is just literally at the start of its adoption. To get this pullback is sheer luck more than anything else. And of course, we have a lot of black swan events to thank for that luck, especially Russia. But it is great for us. Returning to Bitcoin, every day we talk about where price could go. Where do you think it will go from here? Do you think it will stay in D, go down to E, come back to C, or maybe even B? We'll just leave it at those possibilities for now. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. This is a fantastic thing for you to do, and it's not about being right or wrong. Our community doesn't believe in right and wrong, it just believes in probability. If people want certainty, they automatically push themselves into Zone 1 and Zone 2. That's where the losing money rules apply. When we look at probabilities, we're just seeing what do the probabilities tell us? What do we feel based on the evidence inside the market? Where do we think we're going? And it's always a probability, it's never a certainty. So please just pop down the letter that you think, E, D, C, or B. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to our community. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and being part of our global family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, and what you'll find is the NFTs are really, really cheap on gas fees at the moment. They've substantially dropped, and I went out and grabbed a couple myself. And you can always reach out to me and directly message me on Twitter at any time. I don't have WhatsApp or anything like that, so please just reach out anytime you like and directly message me on Twitter. And there are also links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.